Welcome back to will we blue screen or not? Hi you guys. Thanks for sticking around. I'm Sunshine. This is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's cubes. Works on every complexity Rubik's cube. All you need to know: 4 moves, 8 moves. And let's. If you have any questions, or you want to chat, please chat with me. I'd love to chat. Or bring me your non-cuber friends. We'll have fun. So, quick demonstration. Formula A is 4 moves. Formula B is 8 moves. And this is a complexity Rubik's cube. It's the void cube, so you cannot see what color the center is. The original cubes were 3 by 3. Quick history lesson. Rubik did not invent this puzzle. Erno Rubik did not invent this puzzle. He did not even try to invent a puzzle. He was not trying to invent a puzzle. He was a professor, and he was trying to demonstrate how an atom moves, as the story goes. And so he wanted to be able to have a cube that would turn in all 3 directions without falling apart. And what he invented was the way to hold the cube together without falling apart. And it was wooden, and he looked at it and it worked, and he was happy, and he thought, so he painted the sides different colors so he could see how the pieces flowed around the center. And when he was satisfied with that it worked, he tried to put it back together again and couldn't put the colors back together. However, the puzzle itself, as a 2 by 2 existed. It was held together by magnets. Nichols, I think, was the guy who invented it. I did research into the foreword of my manuscript that I'm trying to write, or that I have written. But this is from a manuscript. So anyway, it was a 4 by 4 held together by magnets, and the deal was the same. You turned the pieces and tried to make the colors match up to each other. And if you couldn't, if you got to where you were stuck, you would pull it apart, put it back together again correctly, and keep playing. So what Mr. Rubik did was figure out a way to hold the pieces together on a 3 by 3. And so the game already existed. You can't trademark a game. And so once the cube became popular, we came up with other ways of holding it together, and so the trademark was smashed legally. But that didn't matter. And then when the 4 by 4 came out, Mr. Savensky could have called it anything he wanted to, but he called it Rubik's Revenge, even though it had nothing to do with Rubik at that point in time, solidifying that all twisty puzzles are now called Rubik's cubes. So here, 6 sides, 6 colors. Every color, I usually start with yellow because I can consistently do that. Every cube has yellow. This cube, for instance, does not have a white or a black. It has purple, and the yellow it's not standardized colored, and that's okay. But every cube has yellow, and it's usually easy to work. It's consistent to work with the yellow. So I start with yellow. So I find a corner that has a yellow on it, and this corner is correct. I'm going to make the rest of the cube match it. And I'm not working center out, which is how we learned back in the 80s, because the centerpiece does not move to itself. That changed when the 4 by 4 came out. Sorry, let me get rid of a pop-up. I don't want a pop-up, thank you. So, this corner's correct. I'm going to do all of the corners first. So I'm ignoring everything except for the corners. I'm ignoring the fact that, here's a yellow and it's right next to it. I don't care. I'm only looking at corners. So I look at this corner, and there either is or is not my active color yellow on this corner. So I look to see about the 3 colors on this corner, and if the formula A and B is, you look at the front of the cube as if it were a spreadsheet with rows and columns, and the arrows indicate which one slice you turn at a time. So if there is a yellow anywhere on this corner, formula A will bring it to the top. If there is not a yellow on this corner, I look below, and if there's a yellow anywhere on these two corners, formula A will bring it to the top. If there isn't, then I rotate the bottom quarter turns until there is, but as long as there is a yellow somewhere on one of these two corners, formula A is going to bring it to the top. But one row, one column, bottom row, right column. Move this piece away, move the space down, move the cube back into the space, and the cube in the space up. That's formula A. Is my yellow on top? No, so I do it again. Out, down, in, up, yellow's on top. Yay! I only care about corners, I only care about yellow, so I don't care that these corners don't match yet. But with my yellow on top, I have to slide I don't want to rotate the cube because that's going to make changes later on. So I hold the cube stable, I rotate the top row only to move this piece out of the way and to work with another piece that needs to be affected. So now this piece is safe under my left thumb, and I'm looking at this corner. Is there a yellow somewhere on this corner? If the answer is yes, A will bring it to the top. If the answer is no, then I have to make sure there's one underneath here, because these two are going to flip back and forth, and as long as there's a yellow there, it's going to come to the top eventually. But if there's not, then I'll just be wasting my time and get nowhere, because there has to be a yellow here to begin with. So there is a yellow. So out, down, in, up. Is my yellow on top? Not yet. Keep going. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Is my yellow on top? Yes. Yay. Okay. Slide it out of the way. Keep the cube stable. And continue with this corner. Is there a yellow there? No. Is there a yellow there? No. So, if there's a yellow in one of these two places, A will bring it to the top. If not, I have to rotate the bottom by quarter turns until there is a yellow. Okay, not yet. Keep going. There is a yellow. Okay, and so there has to be yellow here or here. And then out, down, in, up. Is my yellow on top? No, keep going. And keep going until the yellow is on top. Out, down, in, up. Yellow's on top. Yay! All right, now, at this point in time, because of the nature of the cube, one of three things will happen, and only one of three things will happen. Either all of the sides of the cube will match, like this. Okay, this blue equals blue, orange equals orange, green equals green. Or one side will match, orange equals orange, but blue does not equal purple, green does not equal blue, and green does not equal purple. Blue does not equal purple on the other side. Yeah. So if one side, so either they all match, or one side matches, or none of them match. Okay. If none of them match, blue does not equal blue, red does not equal orange. If none of them match, it doesn't matter which way I hold it, I'm going to do the step, and then one side will match. But if one side matches, then I'm going to hold the cube with the matching face away from me. I'm going to do the thing, and then all sides will match. So, matching corner faces away. I do formula B. Formula B is going to move three pieces around. Up, slide second up, slide down, slide second down. Okay, this piece stayed the same. These three pieces moved. I think your initial instinct is, oh no, I messed it up, but you didn't. You know that you move things around, but you already know how to bring your yellow to the top, so let's just keep the cube stable and bring the yellow back to the top again. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Okay. Rotate this top row only to move it out of the way, keep the cube stable. Continue with your formula A to bring the yellow to the top. Hold the cube stable, rotate the top. And when the yellow is back on top on all four sides, then we check the colors and the sides match. Okay? So, yay! All right. So the first four corners are correct to each other. Now we're going to put them face down and abandon them, and we're working on the second four corners now. Now, if this were a standardized cube, what color the second four corners going to be? Well, they're not yellow, and they're not anything that touches yellow. On a standardized cube, it'd be white, but here we have red, green, purple, red, purple, and blue. So it's not green or blue; it's either red or purple. And here we have red, blue, and orange. So red is the color, and if you look at it, yes, they each have a red. So red is the color for the second four corners for this. For a standardized cube, it would be white. Doesn't matter. So two of them are already on top. I'm going to keep them there, and so I'm going to use formula A to bring the red to the top on all four corners. Now I said I'm going to abandon the yellow because I trust it's going to take care of itself, as long as I don't rotate the cube or do something other than formula A or B. So formula A is going to bring the red to the top. So hold the cube stable, bottom row, right column, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Is my red on top? No, keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Is my red on top? Yes. Hold the cube stable, slide the top to move the cube out of the way to protect it. Continue going with this cube. Formula A, out, down, and up, out, down, in, up. Is my red back on top? Yes. Okay, so with my red back on, with my active color on top on all four sides, now I can check my yellows and see that they're still happy to each other. They did move, but they moved back because that's what formula A and B does. So now the second color is active on top, so I check the sides. Orange equals orange, green equals green, purple equals purple, and blue equals blue. As I said, either all sides will match, none of them will, or all of them will. All of them will, so we can proceed to the next step. Excuse me for coughing in your ears. Alright, so since the first four corners are still correct to each other, the second four corners are correct, all we got to do is move the top row until the top and bottom are correct to each other, like so. And now the 8 corners are correct to each other. Now the 8 corners being correct to each other on a 2x2 would be solved, and on every other cube, the corners dictate what color the sides are going to be. Usually we used to work around the center because that's what the 3x3 was. But the center can change once you got to a 4x4 or bigger, or any other even cube or a void cube. So I've been training my eyes to look at the two opposite colors, which are yellow and red. It's usually yellow and white. So I'm going to continue looking for yellow and red on this cube because I've already trained my eyes to look for those colors. So holding my cube so that my two active colors are left and right, yellow and red are left and right. I usually say yellow and white are left and right, that rhymes. So the next thing to do is to do the side edges in between the corners. Make the opposite edges in between. So I'm looking for a yellow or red, looking in the middle for yellow or red. Here's a red. Okay, so I want my active color to be on top, not the front, and it is. If it were like this, then I would just flip it like that. So my red's on top. I rotate, the corners are paired up now, so I'm going to treat the corners together. I'm going to rotate the cube so that the corners match the front. Okay, this is my piece. It's orange and red. Orange matches the front. It's going in the red direction, which is this way. It could also go this way. Going this way, I'm using one row and 2 columns. The 2 columns that I'm using are the column where this wants to land up, which is here, so this is first column, and the column where the cube is to begin with, which is here. This is second column. So I'm using this column and this column. I'm ignoring this column. So this column wants to go here. I start by moving it away. So I move this piece away, first up, back, second up, okay, away, down, back, down, and it placed itself right here. The orange and red is between the orange and red and something corners. Here's a yellow. I'm keeping my opposite edges opposite. Okay, red and yellow are left and right. Here's a yellow. It's on front, so I flip the cube. Red and yellow are still left and right. And my active color is on top. Corners already match the front, and it's going in the yellow direction. So top row, this is the row, this is first column, this is second column. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. Okay, and there it is. And we're going to continue. We're going to continue until the opposite edges are done. So is there a yellow or red here? No. Is there a yellow or red here? Yes. Okay, so we're going to place this one. Bring the corners to match the front. It's going the yellow direction this way. So first column, second column, start by moving this piece away. Up, in, second up, it's already placed. Out, down, in, down. And we're placing these yellow and red edges one piece at a time as we find them. Is this a yellow or red? No. Is this a yellow or red? Yes. And we're going to keep doing this as long as there's a yellow or red in the middle. If there is not a yellow or red in the middle, then we look to see if they're correct, and this one is out of the way but not placed correctly. So let me tell you how I would fix that. Okay, so if this piece needs to be moved, so I'm going to put a garbage piece into that spot. Up, up, down, down, and now it's in the middle where I can work with. So yellow and red are left and right. Here's one. I want it to be on top, so I flip it, but my still yellow and my opposite edges are still opposite. So it's line up the corners, it's going in this direction. And the bigger the cube is, the more pieces you have, the more times you do this. But it is still just Formula B with where your piece is to begin and where your piece is to end. Okay, so yellow or red, here's a yellow or red. I'm going to bring the corners to match the front. Now it's going in this direction. So this is my first column, this is my second column, and I start by moving it away. So out, up, in, up, out, down, in, down, and we're placing the yellow and red pieces one piece at a time. Here's one, flip it, corners match the front, and so we're moving, these three corners are the ones that are, this one's going to go here, so obviously these two move. This one comes forward. So Formula B moves three pieces, and only three pieces, always three pieces. So out, up, in, up, out, down, in, down. Okay, yellow or red? No. Yellow or red? Yes. It's going in this direction, and we just keep going until the yellow or reds are all placed. Yellow or red? No. Yellow or red? No. Yellow or red? Yes. Bring the corners to match the front. Determine its direction. Start by moving it away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Yellow, red, no. Yellow or red? No. Yellow or red? No. Okay, so now when there's no more yellow or reds in the middle, we like to see if the opposite edges are correct. Most of the time they will be, but like I said, sometimes they won't be, and then you have to displace an incorrect piece by throwing a garbage piece in and placing something else there. Okay, so yellow and red are done. Opposite edges are done. We're still working on edges, so let's take our red. I'm going to keep working on yellow, so I'm taking the red, I'm putting it face down, and I'm abandoning it. Actually, I'm not abandoning it. It is going to be a cue marker for the rows that I'm working on, or the columns that I'm working on if I'm working on a large cube. So we're looking at the sides of the cube now, the side edges, to see whether they're correct. 1 is not, 2 is not, 3 is not, 4 is not. If one of them were, I might start there. So I'm going to displace this incorrect piece to the top so I can work on it with my red still face down. So I'm doing that by displacing a yellow. I'm going to put a yellow down, and I'm going to work with not yellows until that yellow finds its way back to the top, and it will find its way back to the top because rules of the cube. When it finds its way back to the top, it'll either be correctly placed or it'll be incorrectly placed, but as long as it finds its way back to the top, that's when we reassess. So I'm going to displace this one over here. So up, up, down, down. Okay, now I'm going to find the piece on yellow that's on top that's not the top color, and I'm going to place that. So this one is green and orange. I'm going to hold the top row, and I'm going to rotate the rest of the cube until the corners match the front. I'm ignoring everything on top except for this piece. Okay, So corners match the front, it's going in the orange direction, not the pink direction, so it's going over here. So my two columns are this one and this one. Start by moving away. So I'm applying B to this piece. So away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Top row, two columns. And there it is. And this yellow is going to bippity bop back and forth until the other yellow comes up to join it. So red is still face down. Color that is not the top color, piece that's not the top color on the top. Okay, corners match the front. It's going in the orange direction. So first column, second column, top row. Start by moving this piece away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Okay. Okay, yellow came back to the top. It did not come back correctly, so now we check the sides. This one's correct, this one's correct, these ones are not. So I'm going to displace an incorrect yellow into one of these places and keep going. Up, up, down, down, and continue with pieces that are not yellow. So line up the purple, line it up to the corners match the front. It's going in this direction. Up, up, down, down. Okay. Corners match the front. Determine its direction. Start by moving it away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. And the yellows came back to the top, so we reassess. The corners are all correct, or the edges are all correct. So there, we had no parity. Parities there's a possibility of a parity though. Let me create the parity to show you what it looks like. Okay. Parities are always caused by one thing and one thing only, and the exact same thing. And the parity is that the center is a quarter turn off. So if I turn this center a quarter turn, if I turn this center a quarter turn off, and then I try to apply, then I try to place these correctly in that position, we'll get a parity now, because I just created it. Because you can't have your centers be off and have things work. Now when you don't see what the center is, or it looks like the centers are correct, that's why you get intimidated by the parities, because it looks like the centers everything else is correct and you only have the two. If they were correct, the centers can be visually placed, correctly placed visually in one of four places, so it's easy to get it visually correct but mathematically incorrect. The telltale sign is there a parity or is there not a parity? Okay, corner, this is going, all right, here's a parity. Parity can look in a lot of different ways. But either way, this cube wants to go here, this cube wants to go here. It looks like there's two pieces and only two pieces that need to switch. Okay, if I put this piece here, I'll still have a parity because I'm moving two pieces around when there's only two to move. And so I'll get a different kind of parity. It'll look different, but it'll still be a parity, and it'll still be caused by the exact same thing. So this piece wants to be here, this piece wants to be here. On a 4x4, the parity is usually this piece wants to be here, this piece wants to be here, because you paired it up, and then you treated it like a 3x3, and you did the reduction method, and so that's why you forced the parity to show up there. My formula forces the parity to show up opposite each other, but a parity can show up anywhere, as long as there's two pieces and only two pieces that want to move. But like I said, they're caused by the same thing. Excuse me. So, since this piece wants to go here, this piece wants to go here, if I take this the slice that touches the parity is the slice that's a quarter turn off. Okay? It doesn't matter which direction it goes. If you are an odd number off, you'll have a parity. If you're an even number off, you will not. And I have a little toy that shows that. So, this is the line that touches the parity. So if I rotate this line 1/4 turn, either direction, I now have, look at this. This piece is correct, and now I have 1, 2, 3 edge pieces that need to move. And we know what to do when we have 3 edge pieces. We didn't know what to do when we had 1, but once you make that quarter turn, now you have 3. And we know what to do. I'm going to use formula B, but you can use other formulas to do it. But having made, as long as I don't undo that slice quarter turn that I did to fix the parity, then that parity is now undone. Corners match the front, it's going in the red direction, and this time, because I've turned that slice a quarter turn, the parity has now dissolved. Parities can look like edge parities, parities can look like corner parities. But a parity is always caused by one single quarter turn being off. Fix that, and your parity is dissolved. Or you can memorize big old long parity algorithms that you only use once in the, like maybe 30% of the time. Set the top, and we are done. All right, you guys. I hope you have a fun day planned. I am going. Kitty is staring outside. Kitty wants to go outside. You know what Kitty did? Kitty went outside, didn't come back yesterday. A neighbor had to come knock on the door and said, "Hi, your cat won't leave my house." Every time I try to pick it up, take it outside, she runs into the bedroom and hides from me. So I had to go over to the neighbor's house and bring my cat back. Stinker. Okay. I am going, there's my, so that's what a parity is. Single slice layer, 1 quarter turn off. Fix the layer, your parity dissolves. Poof. Alright, you guys, thanks for spending time with me, and I'll be back tomorrow. Go have a great day. Bye.